Hey, you guys, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Lots of love and many blessings your way. You guys, Megan has done it again. Her and Harry both. Anyway, Kensington Palace was forced to issue a rare statement. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But according to her friends, Megan's, when she went to that get together in New York City, they're calling a baby shower, and we'll talk about that in a couple of videos upcoming. I have a really good friend that brought me some extremely important information regarding that baby shower. I'd like to share with you. It's super important just to show you who she is and how she works. Anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. So when Megan was in New York for her baby shower, it wasn't a baby shower. I don't even want to call it that. Anyhow, she was explaining to her friends. I don't want to call them her friends either, but that's neither here or there. More on that later, I promise. Anyway, she was explaining to them how the nursery, that they have already had it, done up in neutral colors, grays and whites and off-whites and blah, blah, blah. Then she was saying how she and Harry thought it would be best to raise their child gender fluid, gender neutral. She did not want her child to associate itself with any kind of traditional stereotypes at all whatsoever. To her, they made it sound like it was just the biggest disease. And just about every person that attended this gathering, this get-together, were given their own personal interview in one way or the other, be it a podcast or a magazine, Good Morning America, whatever. And each one of them said basically the same thing. Megan said out of her own mouth, this is what, the nursery is going to look like, and this is how we're going to raise our child, and we don't want any traditional stereotypes put on our kid. We don't want it to have to associate with, male or female. It can be a platypus if they want, it wants to be a platypus. They were all saying basically the exact same thing. Anyhow, so yesterday, this of course caused a lot of problems within the family. And, she's opening her mouth. She shouldn't be. And so Kensington Palace, they said William was so ticked off. And that's another video for another day, trust me. But Kensington Palace released a statement yesterday. And they said, this story is totally false, says Kensington Palace. Okay, well, it's not like it was one story. They addressed it like it was one single story. It wasn't a solid story. It was out of the mouths of many of Megan's so-called friends. So, of course, now everybody in the LGBTQ community and people that look at themselves and identify as gender fluid or gender neutral, or so happen to be parents raising their child gender neutral, gender fluid, they took a major offense to this. There's massive backlash happening against the royal family over this one line that Kensington Palace put out. And I really don't think that the royal family are against gender fluidity. I don't, even though the Queen could not stand seeing Meghan in her man wear, in her suits. That was a big turnoff for her, how Meghan dresses. But I just feel that it's a matter of popularity. There's a lot of religious people that are major players. They're very loyal when it comes to this royal family. And they love these people, and they don't mind giving them their last dollar. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So I don't think that they object due to morals. I think it's more so popularity. I really do. But all it is doing really is just, it's leading into transhumanism. And that's all the Illuminati and the NWO are really pushing for these days. And we all know how the Queen is a major player in the NWO and the Illuminati. But she's sitting in a spot where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. She's going to get it coming and going, and she knows that. So I think she would rather hop on this side versus this side, depending on how many people are for it. Does that make sense? The numbers are greater on this side versus this side at the moment. But, Megan should have kept her mouth shut. My thing is, with Megan, she's a natural born follower. She's a trend chaser. She's a vegan when it's trendy. She is a feminist when she needs to be. She's an animal rights activist when it suits everybody. She smokes weed when Trevor's smoking weed. She's pregnant when she needs to be pregnant. She is not somebody that's solid. She doesn't stick to her guns at all. She's just chasing trends. And for somebody that doesn't want labels or, stereotypes or anything put on their child, she just stamped the biggest one across its forehead, and that is gender fluid, because that's the grandest, most ginormous, in my opinion, trend setting right now. And if you're mad at me for saying that, I identify as a soundboard. So much more to tell you guys. I'll see you soon. We'll talk fast. Stay safe and be blessed.